Namaskar. So last time we were looking at the exercises in this book, Vyavaharika Shikshanam. In this book, so we took some of them, and okay, I think first we'll quickly finish going through this book, and then I think there is some questions, doubts, confusion about this Atmane Padi, Parasmai Padi. We'll look at that, and then we'll conclude today's class. I have some limited time today. So we did finish this, and Mahasharda has sent this exercise. This is Shashti Bhakti, right? So we'll come there. Mahasharda, what did you do? Did you print all the pages? It looks like.
Yes, I printed them. It wasn't very expensive to do. Cost about $20. I do much better when I see the written word than I do on the computer.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay, good. So this is yeah. So this we did Tritiya Bhakti, Chaturthi Bhakti, and then Panchami Bhakti, Hasti Simhad Bibheti, Gajah Simhad Bibheti, etc. So Bibheti means what? Fears. Bibheti means fears. Karkatat Bibheti, from where the fear is coming, that is in the Panchami Bhakti. And similarly, Vanat Agachati, Patati, also from there, Panchami is used. Bhagini Agnehe Dhumah Udgachati Jalam Anayati Balaka Madhukaribhya Bibheti. This also we did last time. Then there is Panchami Prashnottarani, and then Shashtha Pathaha. So one thing you might have noticed here in this book also, so this is the way, like, as we go through the sentences and basically prayoga usages, then we learn them. One is the sentence we are learning, and the other one you see here on the top, Chaturtha Pathaha. What does that mean? Chaturtha Pathaha.
Fourth lesson.
Fourth. So what is the name? What is the word for four?
Chaturi.
Chatvari. So why is this Chaturtha? Chaturtha means fourth, right? Not four. So these kind of usages also we are coming across here. Right? First, second, not only one, two. There are like first, second. Starting from the first, what is the word for the first here? Word for the first is Prathamaha. Right? Prathamaha Pathaha. So Prathamaha, and then second one, next one is Dvitiyaha Pathaha. For the second. Word for one is Eka, but first is becoming Prathama, and then second word for two is Dvi, and word for second is Dvitiyaha, and similarly word for three is Tri, and third is Tritiyaha. As you notice here, this Prathamaha, Dvitiyaha, these are with the other word here, which is Pathaha. Tritiyaha Pathaha, Prathamaha Pathaha, Dvitiyaha Pathaha. Patha is lesson. So pathah tasya vibhakti ka? Raghumoday, what is the vibhakti of pathah? Muted. Shivashri Bhagini. Lingam and vibhakti. Pathah.
Pataha is just the noun, right?
Yes, lingam and vibhakti.
Yeah, it's masculine, and tritiya is the adjective, I think.
Pathah is pullingam prathama vibhakti.
Yes.
Pullingam prathama vibhakti, ekavachanam. Then, yeah, tritiya is also adjective, visheshanam.
Yeah. So it will agree with it, right?
Yes. If so, tritiya, prathama, ditiya, these are all chaturtha. So these are all adjectives, visheshanani.
Yeah.
And they have to agree with the visheshya. So if it is a strilinga padam, strilinga padasya vibhaktihi bhavati chet, udaharanam katham bhavati. What is one example for strilinga word? Suppose it is
Lata, creeper.
Creeper, huh?
Yeah, lata.
Then the tritiyaha becomes
Tritiyaha. Is it?
no visarga. No visarga. Just tritiya.
Oh, tritiya.
Tritiya pathaha. Patha na lata. Tritiya lata. Tritiya
Lata.
balika. Tritiya nartaki. Tritiya balika. Tritiya pipilika. And so on. And then नपुंसकलिङ्गे भवति चेत् यथा विमानं गृहं मित्रं
Phalam.
फलं
Phalam.
then tritiya becomes tritiyam.
Oh, tritiyam.
द्वितीयं तृतीयं प्रथमं फलं द्वितीयं फलं तृतीयं फलं etc. Now some of you might be familiar with this word tithi. Tithi means the day that we count in a masa, right? in a paksha. So there tithi, so we come across the usage prathama, ditiya, tritiya, chaturthi, Ganesh Chaturthi, Ganesh Chaturthi. So Chaturthi, tatra lingam kim? So here, Strilingam, because here if you look at Chaturtha Patha asti, Chaturtha Patha Pulinga. So there Chaturthi, Ganesha Chaturthi is Strilinga. Chaturthi because that is a Vibhakti, sorry, Lingam Tatra Tithi. It is an adjective for Tithi. Dinam asti. Tithi iti. So Ganesh Chaturthi Tithi, Panchami, Shashthi, Saptami, Ratha Saptami, Ashtami also we have Dashami.
Mahoday,
Huh?
can you hear me, Mahoday?
Yes.
Just a quick question on that. Is it a Hraswa E or Dirgha E?
Which one? Chaturthi?
Chaturthi, Panchami, Saptami, Shashti.
Dirgha.
Dirgha, okay.
Like a nadi sabdavat.
Dhanyavad.
So these are this first, second, third, fourth. These are if you want more on this, these are listed here. So on this grammar tab, if you go down, Sankhyaha. If you look at Sankhyaha numbers, so there here you see there are two tabs on the top. Sankhyaha, Sankhyaha. The first tab we saw in the last course. This is just the 1, 2. These are the words for 1, 2, 3, 4. Not first, second, third, fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4. So for in 1, 2, 3, 4, all 3, 4, Pratipadikam is Eka, Dvi, 3, etc. we saw. And some of the words here like Ekaha, Eka, Ekam, these are obviously Eka has only Ekavachanam. There is no Dvivachanam, Bahuvachanam for Eka because it is single. And for Dvi, it is always Dvivachanam. There is no Ekavachanam, Bahuvachanam. And 3 onwards, they are always Bahuvachanam, Trayaha, Tes, etc. But how about Linga here? Here also these are actually Visheshanam mostly. So here Pullinga, Strilinga, Napunsakalinga, Eka, Ekaha, Balakaha, etc. So Eka, Dvi, 3 and Chatur. I have to scroll down. Here. Here Chatur also 1, 2, 3, 4. Eka, Dvi, 3, Chatur. These have Linga Bheda. Linga, different lingas, they have different forms. Ekaha, Eka, Ekam, here. Dve, 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 because it is Dvivachanam always. This is simple. And 3 is Bahuvachanam, Trayaha, Pullinge, Tisraha, Strilinge, Trini, Napunsakalinge. And then Chatvaraha, Chatasraha, Chatvari, Pullinga, Strilinga, Napunsakalinga. Now, starting Pancha onwards, it is simpler. As you see here, Trilingeshu Nitya Bahuvachanam Pancha. So always Bahuvachana that we know. And but in all Linga, they have the same form. Pancha onwards, Pancha Shat, etc. So this we saw in the last course. Now, second tab here, Sankhya. This table has Prathamaha, Ditiya, etc. Pullinga, Strilinga, Napunsakalinga forms are shown for Prathama, Ditiya, etc. here. Saptami, Ashtama, Navama, Navami. And up to Ashtadasha, which is 18. And then Navadasha, which is 19. Now 20 onwards, we have Sankhya Vimshatihi. Sankhya means number. Vimshati means 20, not 20th. But that in Sankhya means where I think it's called in English ordinal numbers. Ordinals. So ordinals means this first, second, those. So here 20 in 20th becomes Vimshati Tamaha. You just add Tamaha, Tama. Add it as a suffix to Vimshati, then it becomes 21st. Pullinga, it is like a Rama Shabda, Akaranta Pullinga, Vimshati Tamaha. And Strilinga, Vimshati Tami. And then Napunsakalinga, Vimshati Tamam. So add just Tama. This is simple. But there are some alternate words, some alternate forms somewhere like Vimshaha instead of Vimshati Tamaha. Also Vimshaha word is also possible for same 20th. And Vimshi, Vimsham, Trinushaha, Chatvarinasha, etc. So this table gives you the forms there. The simple thing to remember is I just add Tama starting from Vimshati. Okay. Just here, if you look at Sankhya, for 6, there is slightly confusing. Many times we get confused for 6. Shat, we know for Shat for 6. Shat for 6, but 6th, what would be the form for 6th? 6 is, Shat is 6. But for 6th, if you look at Eka, Dvi, 3, etc., then the Sankhya we have prathama dvitiya tritiya chaturtha panchama saptama ashtama navama, but shat is not shatmah, it is shashtha. So this is the thing we need to remember. Shashtha, shashti, shashtham, etc. And similarly, shashtha, shashti, shashtham, this is sixth in Pullinga, Strilinga, Napunsakalinga. In Sankhya, we have shashtihi means 60. There is no tha. There is alpa prana ta. Shashtihi, which is 60. And Sankhya, which becomes just add tama there. Shashtitama, etc. So this is Shashtha, Bahu, Mahaprana. This is sixth. And Shashti, Strilinge, Mahaprana, sixth again. But Alpa Pranati, Shashti, that is 60. There is no 60th here, 60. These tables you can refer to and practice. चतुर्थः पञ्चमः सूर्यात् प्रकाशः आगच्छति ओके षष्ठः पाठः षष्ठ्याः विभक्तेः प्रयोगः so now here so षष्ठ्याः means what Shubhasri Bhagini
षष्ठ्याः विभक्ते प्रयोगः
prayoga means
usage, right? Yeah. Vibhakti in plural?
No, vibhaktehe. What is the pratipadikam original word here?
Vibhakti.
Vibhakti.
Yeah.
Vibhakti lingam kim vibhakti padasya or just bhakti. Bhakti. Vibhakti is coming from bhakti.
Yeah. Oh, bhakti.
V is added to bhakti. Vibhakti.
Oh.
Bhakti is Strilingam. To know the lingam, I am just making it simpler. Think of bhakti, which I think many of you know. Bhakti, mati, gati, sthiti, these are all Strilingam. Bhakti. So vibhakti is Strilingam. No, vibhaktehe is in what vibhakti? Shashti.
Shashti vibhakti of vibhakti.
Shashti vibhakti or vibhaktehe. This is Strilingam. This is Strilingam. Now this is becoming an adjective because we know here this is an adjective Shashtaha. So this also should be in Strilingam Shashti vibhakti ekavachanam because this is Strilingam, right? Strilingam Shashti vibhakti ekavachanam vibhaktehe. So this also should agree with that. So what is the pratipadikam of Shashtyaha?
Shashti.
Shashti.
Shashti like Nadi.
That we just now saw on the table. Shashti.
Shashti, right?
Huh?
Shashti, right?
Shashti.
Yeah.
Tha, Mahaprana. Shashti. Like Vithala.
Yeah.
Shashti. So that like Shashti, Shashtyaha. So like Nadi, what is or Bhavati? What is the Shashti Bhakti of Nadi?
Nadyaha.
So similar to that Nadyaha. Similar to Nadyaha, this is Shashtyaha. Shashtyaha Vibhaktehe Prayogaha. This is usage of Shashti Bhakti. बालकस्य गृहमस्ति विमानस्य पक्षस्थः गण्डकस्य खड्गकः भवति खड्गक that they have shown that on its nose बालिकायाः पादुके स्तः बालिकायाः चूडिकाः मुनेः कुटी कवेः लेखनी अग्नेः ज्वाला रक्ता भवति रक्ता रक्त
Red.
red
Is it color red?
sorry red
The color red, yes.
yeah color red jwala rakta so that is also rakta is a visheshanam so like with jwala is strilinga padam rakta iti api strilinga padam prathama ekavachanam atra agneः ज्वाला रक्ता भवति पशोः पुच्छं भवति गुरोः गृहम् अस्ति
Mahoday, in Telugu, raktam is blood, which is obviously in red color. What is blood in Sanskrit?
Blood is also called raktam in Sanskritam. There is also other words also like rudhiram. Or asruk is also there. Rudhiram is also there. Other word, raktam is also used.
Mahoday, one question, just going through the exercises, can we go through when we use asti and bhavati and staha and bhavataha?
Asti bhavati bhavata that's a different question, right? So if you look here here bhavati bhavatah bhavanti asti stah santi these are asti stah santi these are vachanam, right? Vachana bhedah. Asti is ekavachanam, dvivachanam stah, bahuvachanam is santi. Ekavachanam bhavati, dvivachanam bhavatah, bahuvachanam bhavanti. Correct?
Right.
So what is bhavati bhavatah? That the difference is vachanam. Now difference between asti and bhavati is like given here. Asti is like to be, bhavati is happening or being. It is also used many times as like being. But asti, astistah santi, all these forms, they are like a default or assumed verbs when there is nothing in the sentence. When there is no verb in the sentence. There is no kriyapadam in the sentence. In a sentence, for example, if you say just balakah, saha balakah, so we have to assume the kriyapadam there, asti. What is balaka means? Saha balaka means what is he doing? You can assume it is asti, means he just there, exists, being there. Now bhavati, saha balakah, bhavati has a different connotation. Like balaka, bhavati means is happening. Suryo, it's usually used like with the sentences like idanim suryodaya bhavati. Now the sunrise is happening.
One example in the book is pashoho puchham bhavati. But why can't we use asti?
No, you can use asti there.
Okay.
No, asti you can use, but generally sometimes bhavati you also find in place of asti. For example, tatra devalaya bhavati, which means there the devalaya exists. It is there. But asti can be used there. But bhavati has this meaning of happening generally.
Dhanyawad, Mahoday.
Where are we here? नद्याः तीरे वृक्षाः सन्ति पुष्करिण्याः समीपे उद्यानम् अस्ति कुक्कुट्याः समीपे शावकाः सन्ति शावकः मीन्स् offspring. Kukkutyaha samipe shavakaha santi. Kukkutyaha, this is all Shashti Bhakti, Strilinga words. Karkati, Karkatyaha, like Shashtyaha we have this Karkati, Karkatyaha, Shashti, Shashtyaha, Kukkuti, Kukkutyaha. Then Kantaki phalasya vyanjanam bhavati. Some, I think this is what that fruit with the one jackfruit, I think, which has thorns. Moolakasya vyanjanam bhavati. स्वर्णस्य कुण्डले भवतः काष्ठस्य खट्वा भवति सर्पस्य विषं भवति अस्माकं विद्यालयः अस्ति. So one thing I remember is that when I said deva tatra devalaya bhavati, asti can be used, but this bhavati generally is used. Sometimes you find like that, but generally you find the usages when you are narrating a story. Tvam tatra nagaram gaccha tatra vidyalaya bhavati, for example. So you go to the city, there so you want to say there happens to be, when you reach there, when you reach city, there happens to be, there you will see, it is saying like there you will see a school, or there happens to be a school. To say something like that, you can use like tatra devalaya bhavati instead of saying tatra devalaya asti. Asti, if you just want to say, yeah, there is a vidyalaya, you can say vidyalaya asti, but to make it more like there, when you reach there you will see this vidyalaya, tatra vidyalaya bhavati. And so here staha, if you ask, that is a dvivachanam, that is why just staha is used. Kasya pakshau staha, kasya pakshau staha, which one has two paksha, paksha means wings, which one has two wings. So Mahasharada has made this, written the answers here. Kasya graham asti, what is this? Balakasya graham asti. Mahasharada, why have you written this devotee or balakasya?
I was thinking that it was for devotee.
Balakasya means it's just a boy. Kasya pakshau staha vimanasya, vimanasya pakshau staha, because this lesson is about the Shashti Bhakti, so we'll use Shashti for vimanasya pakshau staha. Okay. Kasyaha chudikaha santi balika, okay. Bali, it should be balikayaha चूडिकाः सन्ति. कस्य कुटी अस्ति? मुनेः कुटी अस्ति. कस्य पुच्छं भवति? धेन्वाः पुच्छं भवति. कुत्र वृक्षाः सन्ति? नद्याः तीरे वृक्षाः सन्ति. कुत्र उद्यानमस्ति? पुष्करिण्याः समीपे उद्यानमस्ति. कस्य अषाढवरागः भवति? व्हाट इज अषाढवरागः?
Is it where are we? Yes. Oh, is that the gold earring?
No, before that. Kasya ashadavaraga.
So there's a cucumber.
I don't know.
There was a word on the preceding page about the cucumber, and I wasn't sure what it was making. Papacha davaraga. I wasn't sure if it was saying what kind of food it was trying to make. or if it meant that was in the bowl.
Anybody know? I don't know. We can find out that
I
later.
wondered if it was pickles, because that's all we make out of cucumbers.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, next. Okay. कर्कट्याः आषाढवरागः भवति. कस्य कुण्डले भवतः?
What is the meaning of that, Mahodaya? Ashadavaraga?
I don't know. Somebody has to find out.
It wasn't in the dictionary I looked for, but
maybe
it
some
could
kind
be
of
some kind of special chutney or...
yeah. कस्य कुण्डले भवतः कस्य विषं भवति कस्य विद्यालयः भवति अस्ति. एवं शिक्षकैरन्येऽपि प्रश्नाः शिक्षकैः अन्यैरपि प्रश्नाः उत्तराणि प्राप्तवान्. Okay. So these are match. Good. Alam. स्वर्णस्य किं भवति? शारदा, you have written स्वर्णस्य.
Yeah.
स्वर्णस्य कुण्डले.
Oh, the of an animal or creature, the tail.
No,
Did I get it in the wrong spot?
Swarna is correct. Swarna is, what is Swarna?
Gold.
Gold. Kundale is correct. Kundale means?
Earring?
Earring. So here Kundale is a dvivachanam. Like Kundalam.
Oh, that's right. It's two. Yeah.
Two.
So that's the wrong verb.
Yeah. Should be?
Bhavataha. No, I didn't think of that one. The last one I know, I think I screwed up, but I didn't know that. I actually wake up in the middle of the night thinking about, did I do that right?
Which one? Which one? Last one you got it wrong.
Mama.
This one?
Yes, this one. I wasn't sure because if I could use it with that, because that's a singular adjective, but it's a dual item.
What do you think, Prajwala Mahodaya? Is this?
Yeah, I think Mama is a netro.
Word is netra, napunskalingam, like phalam, netram.
Okay, so netre. So I think it should be Mama, right, Mahodaya, because
Mama is there already.
Yeah.
Mama is there already. So is this sentence correct? She's not sure. Mashallah is not sure.
I think that is correct, Mahodaya.
Yeah, this is correct.
Okay.
Mama netre bhavatah. There is no adjective here. Mashallah.
Oh.
Mama is just shashti bhakti, sixth case. So netre is the first case. Dvivachanam, dual.
Yeah.
So this means mine are two eyes.
Mahodaya, I made a different sentence with that. Manushyasya netre staha.
Okay, that is also fine.
Okay.
मनुष्यस्य नेत्रे स्तः शङ्करस्य देवस्य शङ्करस्य
नेत्राणि भवतः
नेत्राणि भवन्ति. Anyone has 4 eyes? No. More than 3. Okay, so we are moving. So before moving, I have another 20 minutes. We can do the other ones later. So let me quickly touch base on Atmane Padi, Parasmai Padi. Before that, so does anyone has any idea about what is Upasarga?
Is Upasarga the one that you can be both Atmapadi and Parasmai, both types of verbs? The same word? Same
Upasarga is
dhatu?
a prefix for a dhatu.
Yeah.
It is.
Upasarga is a prefix for a dhatu. There are 22 upasargas defined here. There's 22 plus written because some few others are also considered upasarga, but then I will restrict that to 22 here, which are listed here. Pra, para, apa, sam, anu, ava, nis, nir, dus, dur, vi, a, ni, adhi, api, ati, su, ut, abhi, prati, pari, upa. So these upasargas which are used as a prefix to a dhatu, and many times they change the meaning of that kriya indicated by dhatu. Many times they don't. Sometimes they drastically change the meaning. Sometimes they just add on to that meaning. We saw some examples, like maybe I think last time. What is the example with Suresh Mohoday? Example with upasarga, without upasarga. Some example of the same kriya pada.
A simple one we use is gachati, and with upasarga ang it becomes agachati. With one is come, one is go.
One is come, one is go. So there, gachati going, agachati coming. Right? So the meaning totally changed. Similarly, abhigachati, pratigachati,
Nirgachati.
nirgachati. So the upasargas with can be used. It depends on the usage. All these upasargas are not found with all the dhatus in the usage. So, for example, apigachati, we don't have that. At least I have not seen that kind of usage. Or nigachati. But the other ones are agachati, udgachati, atigachati, abhigachati, pratigachati. Those are common, upagachati. Those we can find in the usage. And also how the meaning changes, that also again based on the usage. Sometimes the same upasarga when added has totally different meaning, like we saw this agachati, gachati, agachati. But many times when that I is added to some other dhatu, the meaning may not change. Then yeah, like we also have we kri. Suppose this you add with this kri dhatu. Krinati means buying. Vikrinite is selling. So it's all upasargas are very helpful and they make the language extremely rich and interesting also. Now, many of these upasargas are used mostly in a similar sense. Like, for example, ut means something rising. It something related to rising, coming up. Like we have seen udeti, suryah udeti. Ut plus eti udeti. Just eti means going. Ut eti means going up. Udeti. And then abhi means something towards, facing something, facing you. Abhigacchati. Yatha chhatrah gurum abhigacchati means he is going towards that guru. Mostly it's not always 100% the meanings remain like that, but mostly some the upasargas, they have this additional connotation like this, ut, abhi, then prati means reverse. For example, dadati means what? Giving, right? Balakah dadati, balaka pustakam dadati. Now if you add prati, balaka pustakam prati dadati, giving back, returning. Pari means around, like pari, around. Now paripruchhati, for example. Pruchhati means asking. Paripruchhati means by all the means asking. Means by various means asking. Means repeatedly or various means, by all the means asking. Paripruchhati. Upa means near. Upagacchati. Upavishati. Upa is sitting. That's different meaning, but generally upa. For example, you have upanayanam, upanayati is taking near.
Upavasati, upavasam.
Upavasati. So generally, many of these are having some distinct meanings when used with the dhatus. Parinayati meanings, we know parinaya. Parinaya means marry.
Marriage.
If you use that parinaya, we find that in the namapada form, but its kriyapada form is parinayati. If you use it in vartamana kala, parinayati means marrying. Somebody is marrying. Parinayati. Okay, now why I'm mentioning this upasarga, we'll study some upasarga examples later again in detail, but specific to this Atmanepadi kriya, Parasmaipadi. Now, Parasmaipadi, Atmanepadi, first of all, note that these are just the names of the categories or the classification of dhatus. Some dhatus are classified as Parasmaipadi dhatus, some others are classified as Atmanepadi dhatus, and few others are also classified as Ubhayapadi. Ubhayapadi means they can have both the forms, Parasmaipadi and Atmanepadi. In the Parasmaipadi form, generally we find the patterns like we have seen that before, like bhavati, bhavata, bhavanti, etc. Right? Gacchati, gachatah, gacchanti. In Atmanepadi, we find the patterns like vandate, vandete, vandante, vandase, vandate, vandete, etc. Now, now let's look at the Ubhayapadi, Kru dhatu. Kru dhatu, if it is in Parasmai, if we use it in a Parasmai pada form, then we find it like Karoti, Kurutaha, Kurvanti, etc. If we use it in the Atmanepadi form, then we use it in this form, Kurute, Kurvate, Kurvate, etc. Now, as the grammar, what it states is that if remember this, underline again, if a dhatu is ubhayapadi, then its parasmay pada form should be used when the benefit of that kriya goes to another person, not to kartru, not the one who is doing the kriya. Kartrupadam, right? What is the kartrupadam? Vijanti Bhagini, what is the kartrupadam in a sentence?
Is noun, sorry.
Balakah gramam gacchati. In that, what is the kartrupadam?
Balakah.
So why is it a kartrupadam?
Because it's the, what do you call, is it because of Prathama Vibhakti?
Yeah, but why? Why is it kartrupadam? Meaning of kartrupadam is what? Karta. What is a karta? Karta means doer. Doer. What is he doing in the sentence? What is that word doing in the sentence? Kim karoti? Balakah gramam gacchati. So balakah tatra kartrupadam because balakah kim karoti?
Kriya karoti.
Kriyam karoti. Kriya asti atra gacchati kriyapadam. Balakah gamanakriyam karoti iti balakah kartrupadam. Correct, Bhagini?
Yeah, correct.
So we call it kartrupadam. Now when this balakah gramam gacchati, in that it is a kartrupadam is balakah, gacchati is kriyapadam. And we know that gacchati is a gam dhatu, is a parasmai padi dhatu. Okay? It is not ubhayapadi. Now we are talking of ubhayapadi dhatu, for example, kru. So, or take kru dhatu. Kru dhatu, parasmai pada form. What is the parasmai pada form of kru dhatu? This one, right? Karoti. So when we say, can you use a karoti in a sentence? Vijanti Bhagini. Can you use this in a sentence? Karoti.
Sorry, sir. Balakah yogasanam karoti. Is it right?
Yeah. Balakah yogasanam karoti. Now we use that in the form there we used is the of karoti is the parasmai pada form.
Yeah.
Similarly, can you use the atmane pada form in a sentence kurute?
So it would be balakah yogasanam kurute.
Kurute. Balakah yogasanam kurute. That's correct. So meaning is same, you can say, or similar. Right? Karoti or kurute means he is doing, or he does or doing. Balakah yogasanam karoti, balaka yogasanam kurute. However, technically, because it is ubhayapadi dhatu, number one, and it can have this alternate form, atmanepadi or parasmepadi, but as per Vakarana, if it is ubhayapadi dhatu, the parasmepadi form should be used when the benefit of that kriya goes to somebody else, not to karta. For example, balaka, let's say pach dhatu. Pach is also a ubhayapadi dhatu. So, Suresh Mohoday, pach dhatu, parasmaipadi form. What is the example?
Pachati.
Pachati, sentence.
Pachakah annam pachati.
Pachakah annam pachati. And atmanepada form?
Pachati.
Sentence.
Mata balaya khadanam pachate.
Mata, or even you can say pachaka also. Pachaka annam pachate. Mata annam mata bhojanam pachate. Fine. So there pach dhatu, pachati is the parasmay pada form. Pachate is the atmane pada form. So when it is used in the parasmay pada form, the benefit of that paka kriya, the cooking, is supposed, or technically it goes to someone else. That is why it's called parasmai. Parasmai is somebody, someone else. Then pachate, which is atmane, atmane pada form, means the benefit of the kriya goes to the kartru, who is doing the kriya. So in the first sentence, balakah or pachakah annam pachati. So there, pachaka, the cook, is cooking the food. There, if you use the parasmay pada, that means he is cooking it for someone else, not for himself. But when you say mata annam pachate, bhojanam pachate, mata is cooking, there it is supposed to mean that she is cooking it for somebody else. This is the general, as per the Vyakarana, if it is Ubhayapadi dhatu, it means. But generally, in the usage, we don't find this they don't adhere, or they don't generally put this. You can just use pachati, pachate alternatively, whether the benefit goes to someone else or to one's own. They are just alternatively used. Very loose usages found there. Number one. Number two, what about dhatu is not ubhayapadi? Like bhu dhatu is not ubhayapadi. Vanda dhatu is not ubhayapadi. So there is no question of the benefit going to others or self. Or self means kartru. So when you say balakah vandate, the benefit might be going to somebody else to coming to himself. So because vanda is, there is no bhayapada, or there is no other form here. So there is no option here. So this is just the classification based on the pattern. When you say bhavati, bhu is the parasmay pada, so it follows the pattern of parasmay pada dhatus. And atmanepadi follows the pattern. But when it comes to like ubhayapadi, if you take kri dhatu also, krinati, balaka or anything, some krinati, pita pustakam krinati, pita is buying the book, maybe for the benefit of somebody else. He is buying book for his son, daughter, somebody, or friend. Similarly, if you take the example of kri in the atmanede form, krinite, same pita pustakam krinite, that means he is buying the book to read for himself. It could mean generally, but it's okay. I mean, in the usage, if you say krinite, even if it is buying it for his son, daughter, it's okay. Don't hold that meaning exactly to be like that. But such usages come handy when you really want to mean something in your message. You want to convey that, yeah, I'm buying it for myself. Then krine, aham vahanam krine, which you want to underline. You don't want to be casual. You want to underline. Yes, I'm buying it for myself. You highlight that. Aham vahanam krine. And these such usages you generally find helpful and important also in the Shastra Grantha. So our Shastra Grantha, in the sense in the Darshana Shastra and all that, they are, Shastra means science, right? And in any science, the precision is important. Right? The word, even the words. In modern science also, when you read these scientific journals, books, etc., the science, the usage of words is very important. They have to be precise. They can't be casual. So similarly, in the Dharma Shastra and Darshana Granthas also, these many times these Atmane Pada and Parasmai Pada, they play a very important role to highlight that the phala, or the results or the benefit of the action going to Kartrugamini, we call Kartrugamini phalam, the phala going to the karta or somebody else. So, for example, doing something good, the phala goes to self or somebody else. That is highlighted. These usages become important there. So when you read this Vyakhyana, Bhasha, or the commentaries on this Shastra Grantha, the Bhashakaras, they highlight this. See, this Atmanepada is used here because the author wants to indicate or mean that the phala is going to this. So that becomes very important or interesting to read such usages there. Otherwise, for our everyday usage, we can be just casual. Okay. That's number one. Number two. Number three, to make things more complex, some dhatus, even when they are like Parasmai or Atmane here, right, they are classified. For example, let's say Vad dhatu. Vad. Even Vad dhatu, Vadati is a Parasmai Pada dhatu. Vadati. But in some cases, if it is used in certain meanings, Vadati generally means talk, right? But in certain meanings, it changes its pada to become Parasmai Atmanepadi, Vadati, which we'll see some examples later in the next class. To close the class now. That is number three. Number four is some dhatus, here though they are listed either Parasmaipadi, Atmanepadi or Ubhayapadi also, but with certain upasargas, when they are used, then they get restricted to certain padas. Like we'll see the examples again. There are many examples with Kru dhatu also, Kri dhatu also, many dhatus, where the Kru dhatu is listed as Ubhayapadi, generally just Kurute, Karoti we use, but when it is used with certain upasargas in certain meanings, then it gets restricted to only Atmanepadi. Okay, so these are like so this how do we know that? By just looking at the Vyakarana Granthas, because Vyakarana Granthas again they depended on contemporary usages that time, right? How this language was used, how these words were used in the language, and the Vyakarana Granthas they distilled it and they collected those usages and they have put together some. Now they have become the rules for us now. So it's interesting to see in certain usages, certain cases, these dhatus, they change the sites. The sites in the sense padas. Right? But without getting into those complex rules, which we call Vyakana rules, overall this is the highlight or the overall overview of what is Parasmai Pada, Atmane Pada. So first, don't get totally overwhelmed by that, all the intricate upasarga application and all that. Generally, just right now at least start using these Parasmai Pada patterns and Atmane Pada patterns. Just think that these are two different patterns and certain dhatus are placed in the Parasmai Pada because they follow that pattern in this. In Samarubhai Pada. Just first start, this is the first step. The second step is there are certain dhatus which are commonly used. Like we use virama. Rama dhatu is a ramate generally. Ramate. Which is Atmanepada, like Vandate, like that, Ramate. But when we used with V, it becomes Viramati, which is Parasmaipada pattern. Viramati, Viramataha, Viramanti, like Bhavati, Bhavata, Bhavanti. Like Ramati, Ramate, Viramati. Viramati means stopping, pausing, stopping. Virama, Viramati. So such some of the common usages or common dhatus which change the padas when used with upasarga, we can see. But we don't, at this stage, we don't have to be confused or overwhelmed by all these other. You can refer to Siddhanta Kaumudi and other Vyakarana Granthas which list out these upasarga plus certain dhatus which they are used in certain meaning, certain sandarbha, then they change the padas. So that they are like it's a big chapter, but if you just focus on this classification, it should be easy to understand. Any question? Vijayanti Bhagini?
No, sir. So the one where they asked, I think in Paramaspati, and then the answer was the question that I asked so long, where they asked using the kriya was in Paramaspati and the answer was in Atmanepadi. No. It's like Gotakaha Kim Kurte and Gotaka Davati. So it's okay, right? Whatever that they're using, how you said earlier.
Yeah.
Kurte and Davati. So it doesn't need to be because the question is Atmanepadi. The answer doesn't need to be in Atmanepadi also, right?
Yeah, no. They are, because as I said, these dhatus, they have their own patterns, right? Because dhavati cannot be Atmanepadi.
Okay.
Dhavati has only Parasmaipada forms. Okay. So dhavati has to be dhavati. And then, but kurute, that is Ubhayapadi. There they could have used karoti also, but they chose to use kurute there. Which is Atmanepadi.
Like Gotaka, what is it doing for for the benefit of itself? Something like the meaning is something it goes
that
like
is
right?
the technical meaning because their Atmanepadi is used. But as I said, these are now become a loose usage. It doesn't have to be for the self all the time. Okay? It is loosely used, kurute, which the benefit can go to others also. It's fine. You don't always think that when it is Atmanepadi is used, the kriya phala goes to self, the karta. It's not always true when in the usage. So they could have used karoti also. Now
So, how do we decide whether to ask kim kurute or kim karoti?
You can use either. Kim karoti, kim kurute. But if it is Ubhayapadi, because kru is Ubhayapadi, when you use kurute, technically it means the phala is going to self. But so try to keep that in mind and try to use it like that. But if you use karoti, it doesn't mean that the phala is not going to self. Sometimes they are used loosely, kurute, karoti, either way. How do you decide? You said you decide if the phala is going to self. If you are aware of that, then try to use kurute. For example, tvam kim karoshi. That is a tvam. You are using tvam. You. Tvam kim karoshi. What are you doing? So that karoshi is a Parasmai Padi form. That means you are specifically at least underlining, or you can say hidden meaning. You can say you are trying to ask. You are doing something for, and that whatever you are doing, maybe that phala is going to somebody else. Or if you want to ask tvam kim kurushe, which is Atmanepadi. So what are you doing? You are seeing somebody is doing something and you want to ask that phala. He may be doing it for himself. So you want to ask tvam kim kurushe. If you are aware of that, you can ask that. But if you by mistake, if you ask tvam kim karoshi, that's fine. Even the phala is going to the person who is doing the karya. That's fine. Now one example here, one very good example is the Bhagavad Gita, which is the first shloka. What is the shloka of Bhagavad Gita? Prathama shloka. Rajeshwar Bhagini.
Is that Karmanyeva Adhikarasya?
No, first shloka, Bhagavad Gita, Prathamadhyaya.
Vartaya Pratibodhitam.
That is Dharma Kshetra.
Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra.
Read the full one, full shloka.
I can't recall it now. I know it's such
You can search it. You all you got supercomputers in your pocket. You can just do the search. Bhagavad Gita first shloka.
Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yotsavaha Mamakaha Pandavaishchaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya.
So what is the Kriya Pada there?
Kim Akurvata.
Akurvata. Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. What is the meaning given? Is there meaning given?
Yeah. I mean, I have it in Telugu. It's Sanjaya, my sons and Pandu's sons who are ready for the battle, they have reached Kurukshetra, and now what are they doing? Or what did they do? Sorry.
What did they do? Kim akurvata. Akurvata. Kim akurvata. Akurvata is lang lakara bhutakala. And what dhatu? Kru dhatu. And if you look at here, lang lakara, Atmane pada. Akurvata. Prathama purusha bahuvachanam. Akurvata. Correct? So, there the kartrupada means mamakaha pandavaha cha eva kim akurvata Sanjaya. He is asking Sanjaya, Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya, those who are gathered in the Dharma Kshetra of Kurukshetra, mamakaha, my people, and Pandavas, what did they do? So here akurvata is used, which is Atmanepada Bhutakala, whatever. But our interest here is pada, Atmanepada. So here you can think, Bhashakara, many commentators they write. Here and it is also clear, right? Atmanepada is used because the doers who are my people, means those Kauravas and Pandavas, what did they do? And whatever they are doing, that is actually, the results is actually going back to them, kind of. The results of that war is affecting them. Going back means what? It is affecting them. Okay. We'll stop here. If any questions, you can, any quick question I can answer. Okay, stop here. We'll meet next week. Dhanyawada. Namaskara.
Dhanyawada.